Okay, today we're talking about systems, and it's all about creating systems so that we can save time and money, and we are doing this live today. So, welcome to those of you who are joining. You can go ahead and comment in with questions and stuff anytime, but we are going to get rocking and rolling with this. Here's the deal. Systems are amazing, and they save us time and money and energy, and we don't even realize it. And so today I want to talk about how to do that, because there are things that you're doing every single day that you're doing over and over and over again that are all opportunities to save time and to save money. So we will get to that in just a second. My name is Amanda Bentow, and I am a health and fitness coach. I help people develop healthier habits so that they can have a really rock solid foundation for feeling great. And I'm also a business coach and help people learn how to be smarter and more efficient about the way that they do business, especially online, operating in this online space. And one of my favorite things in the whole wide world is when we can take a dream or this little tiny fire that burns inside someone's belly and turn that into a business and a life that they love. We live in this really amazing time where there are so many cool opportunities for us, and we can take advantage of that in so many different ways. So that is a little bit about me, but today we're talking about systems. And so first of all, let's talk about what a system is. A system is kind of like a recipe. It's kind of like a best practice or like a standard operating procedure, like a roadmap for all of the things that we do on a regular basis. And there are things that you do over and over and over again. And every single one of those things is an opportunity to save time and money and stress by creating a system out of that. So if you are ready to save some time and money and get rid of some of the stress that comes along with doing things on repeat, then here is what you need to know. Step one is to make a list of all of the things that you do on a regular basis, the things that you do over and over again, and identify those things so that you can start to create a system out of it. So first of all, it could be anything from grocery shopping to packing your suitcase. And those are some examples, like in your personal life, of things that you might do, even your morning routine and the way that you approach mornings. You can create a system out of that so that you get everything done that you need to get done. How many times have you run around your house looking for your keys because you don't have a place for them, or run around your house looking for your phone because you put it in a billion different places and don't go through the same process or same routine every time? It's so common for so many people, and that's why systems give us an opportunity to save time and money. Now, that works in your personal life, but it also can be applied to your work life or your business life. And there are things in your business, especially for those of you who are developing a personal brand or you're running your own business, you're going to find efficiencies that you can create when you develop systems. So identify all of those different areas within your business or in your life where you can just get a little more efficient about things. Or really, the best way of looking at it is to make a list of the things that you do over and over again, the things you do on repeat, because that's your opportunity. And once you have that list, pick one of those things and find your most efficient or your best way of doing that one thing. Now, sometimes this feels a little ridiculous, but because we could be talking about packing for a trip, right? There's a good example that so many people do and can relate to. So think about packing for a trip. You've done it a bajillion times and you feel like you could probably, it's not that hard. You just throw things in the suitcase. Just think about what you're doing. But how many times have you gone on a trip and then left something that you needed at home and then you have to go buy that thing over again? And it's not that we get perfect at this. It's not that there aren't still mistakes that happen, but when you have a system out of how to pack for a trip, then you're able to go back to that system, go back to that recipe over and over again so that you do it consistently and you do it the same way every time. So, where it really comes in handy too is in your business and in being able to find and create efficiencies there. So find your most efficient way of doing it and spend some time to really break it down piece by piece so that you can pick it apart. And if something's not working, or if you think it could be working more effectively or efficiently, then try that and be ready to tweak your system. But the next step then is number 3 is to write it down. Keep track of it and keep track of your system and how you do it, what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and list everything out step by step. This is incredibly important when you're involving other people in your system as well. So if you have an assistant that you're delegating or outsourcing some of your tasks to, or if you have teammates that you're working with who might also have to take over and do some of the things on your system, or if you have a spouse who's going to share in some of those responsibilities, write them down so that everyone is clear about how to do it. Now, there are a couple of different apps that I use for that. One is Evernote, and so I have some systems listed out in Evernote. Other places, I manage my to-do list in the app called Awesome Note, and that's another one that you can use. So for sort of listing out a checklist and being able to check the box, that is another really helpful one that you can use. And share that with the people who are going to be using it, right? So write down your system. If you have someone else who's going to be doing it, and especially for things that are on your computer, I have a lot of things within my business that are just right on my computer, and I can walk people through a step-by-step process for how they do certain tasks. The thing that I love the most, I use a Mac and I use Quicktime. You can just go up to the Quicktime menu and do a new screenshot, and you can track everything that you're doing on your computer, and it'll create a little video for you, a screen capture of everything that you've done, and then you can just send that video off to them. That gives the other person exact step-by-step instructions for how you want things to be done. And it also, you're clear about how you're doing it. You have it on record, and it's something that you can easily go back to that and refer back to it. Now, if you want to take it another step farther, if you have a team of people who are doing a certain process, or you want to create sort of that standard operating procedures manual, or you're creating a training system where you're teaching other people how to do things, you can have that video transcribed so that you also have your instructions written out and included step by step with links, so that people don't have to go back and watch the whole video, and if they're just looking for one specific step, but they have it all written out so that they can go back to it on a regular basis. The next thing is to make sure that you're using that system, that you're pulling out the recipe each time that you go through that process. So it's one thing. So for example, I've created a process for how I do my Periscope broadcast. Thank you for the hearts, by the way, for those who just joined. So I have written out instructions for exactly how I'm doing this. I'm testing out a system for being able to automatically upload my Periscope broadcast to YouTube, so that there's less work on the back end. And because Periscope is vertical right now, and everything else for a video is horizontal, it drives me crazy that Periscope is vertical. So hopefully they're going to change that soon. But in the meantime, I have a different system set up so that I can automatically upload these videos to YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube or on my website, you get the full screen, not just the tiny little Periscope deal, right? And that is saving me time, and because I'm able, and saving me stress, because I'm able to do all of this work once and have it used in multiple different places, and I have a whole system for how I use that afterwards. But I have step-by-step written instructions for exactly how I use this system, or what I'm going to do when I start a Periscope broadcast. So first, I plug in my microphone into my computer. It's those little things, because if I go through this whole process, if I spend this time on Periscope talking to you and going through my system, and I haven't plugged in the microphone, or I don't have my power cord in, or I don't have the right programs pulled up, then I've wasted my time, or at least I've lost time because I might have to do it again, or because I'm losing that content and not able to use it as broadly as I would have otherwise. So step-by-step instructions, and then I pull those out every time I'm ready to use it, so that I'm walking through that recipe or that system exactly. So think about in cooking, your favorite recipes. That's why they're written down and they're handed down from generation to generation, because they are able to, we have everything listed out right there and we're not relying on our memory. But too many times we get in a hurry and we think, oh, I can remember this, it's fine. I don't need to look it up. I'll remember how I did it last time. But we don't. We forget and then we mess it up. And then we feel frustrated because we wasted our time. It's stressful because we have to go back and do it again. And we can be so much more efficient. I remember when I was in high school, it was the very first time that I learned how cool systems could be. I was working retail. I loved retail when I was in high school, and I was working at the Limited. And one of the things that they had in the back room where they'd send this shipment in of new clothes. And one of the things we would have to do is spend some time in the back room taking the plastic off and putting those things on hangers and steaming them or folding them the right way and putting stickers on or whatever and processing that new shipment that came in. And I remember one day when I got to work and there was this system all written out for us and it seemed really mundane and it seemed a little bit trivial to have a system for how to hang a shirt on a hanger. It's like, well, just hang the shirt on the hanger. Anyone can do that. But they literally walked you through step by step of where to place the clothes, where to place the hangers, which hand to use. And it seemed halfway ridiculous and halfway like I was so excited because it was the most efficient thing I'd ever seen in my life. And it was so much fun. And so I learned about how much time could really be saved. I realized how much more quickly I was able to process those boxes of clothes because I had a system in place and it had been tested and tried and tweaked, which leads to step number 5, which is to evaluate your system. So you get something in place and you try it and you use it over and over, but you're going to find that either new information comes along where you can tweak your system and make changes to it, or you'll find something else that just works better for you. And that is a perfect opportunity to be able to adjust your system and gain even more efficiencies. But it doesn't happen if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. It doesn't happen if you just fly through it in kind of a mundane way. And it doesn't happen if you don't look at your recipe and refer back to that so you remember what you did each time. And kind of evaluate it each time and think about what went well and what could be changed or what some of your challenges are. You can also think about this in the terms, so I've used a lot of examples from business and some from your personal life, but I also teach this to the people who I'm coaching in health and fitness. We talk about systems that make things easier for you to make healthy choices throughout the week. So you might have a system for how you prepare your meals earlier in the week, chopping up all your veggies for the week, or spending some time 1 or 2 days during the week making things like rice or quinoa, and being able to prep some of those foods in advance is what helps you make those easier, healthy food choices throughout the week. And so there are tons of examples, whether you want to apply it to your personal life or apply it to your business. There are lots of things that you can, lots of systems that you can put into place in your life to help save time and money and stress, and ultimately help you love your life even more. And that is what I'm all about. It's all about helping people love life and do the things that they were meant to do the things that they dream about doing. Because life isn't just about working all the time. I am a recovering perfectionist. I'm a recovering workaholic. And that's one of the things that I just naturally could spend a lot of time doing is work. And I have to remember to take time to take breaks and have fun. And when I'm focused on my most important priorities, then I'm able to enjoy life so much more. And I hope that I'm able to share some of that information with you as well so that you can create a life that you love even more than the one you already do, even more than what you're already doing. So if you want more information and just other personal development topics, you can certainly follow me and join the live conversation on Periscope, or you can go to amandabentow.com to find out more information about all of the things that I have going on. So hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.